Hi guys, welcome to my channel.
I could stay like this, forever following you.
Welcome back to my whopping 8 subscribers, I think. It's either 8 or 6, and one of those are Miguel, so shout out to Miguel. Anyways though, subscribe because I could use the help. I got Bellamy in the background right here, he's eating. I was going to wait until he napped to film this video, except my boy don't nap. It's going to be a series. I think it's just going to be a 2-part series that will like go off into other series, if that makes sense. I hope it does. Anyways, I've been like writing down ideas for this channel because like I'm taking this seriously. Like I have been wanting to do this for a while, and anyways, me growing up, rough, really rough. I've always wanted to write about it, except I don't have the patience to write, but I sure do have the patience to talk about it forever and ever and ever and rant on about it. Anyways, this video is going to be a little difficult to film because it's about my mom, and I know my mom watches my videos. So this is why this is difficult to film, and I want you guys to know I'm only speaking the truth, my experience. This is what happened, and the messed up part is my mom, and I know you're listening to this, believes in her own lies. And this is what makes it difficult because we're kind of on a good page, but kind of not, because I don't speak up about how I feel, and I don't know. But anyways, onward. And if you see me looking down, it's me looking down at this because I have notes to make sure like I hit the key points on this. Honestly, I don't even know if I should start with a different story or if I should just leave it on its own. But anyways, I think I'm just gonna start here, and then eventually you'll know more facts. I guess the more videos you watch, it will all come together. Okay. When I was a freshman in high school, I lived in Pennsylvania, and long story short, during summer, because like I had a place to live, we were all living in this place. Oh, and I like to clarify things. It was my mom, me, Haley, Mark, and Alora. I have 3 more siblings, but that's a different story. Anyways, so we were living in Pennsylvania, and during the school year we had somewhere to live, but then once summer hit, for some reason we became homeless. I don't know the reason, but this is a whole nother story on its own, and I will post that. Well, I will make a video about that eventually, I feel like, after I explain everything else. So we were homeless, we were living with a friend. Anyways, we couldn't live with them forever, of course, and my mom has, and I can't give out real names here because it's all crazy and it all makes sense eventually, so I have to like come up with names. We'll just call this person Roberta because this is the first thing that comes in mind. Now, if you know me personally, then you know who this person really is, and you know the reason why I'm not using their full name or like their real name, because knowing them, they somehow sue me for using their name. Homeless in Pennsylvania. And anyways, my mom had this foster parent, I think from when she was 15, and her name is Roberta. And Roberta lives in Colorado, and she offered us a place to live there. I wanted to move there because this person's kind enough to give us a home. Now, I don't know her, and my mom blames this whole situation on me because I was the one that wanted a home to live, pretty much. I just wanted somewhere to live. I was tired of being homeless, and this person was offering us their home, you know? So it's like, and also my mom only said good things about this person at this point, and I felt like if my mom knew this person was a bad person, then she wouldn't have us move there, you know what I mean? But anyways, so we ended up moving there. We drove from Pennsylvania to Colorado, and you know, the entire month that I was in Colorado, it was great. And the person, Roberta, she seemed like a great person, and her son, which I have to come up with a different name for him, I'm just gonna say Cam because I can't think of a name. Anyways, her son Cam seemed like an okay person too. I mean, he wasn't my favorite at that point either, but he seemed okay. Like, I don't know. Anyways, my mom was like with him when we were in Colorado because she felt like if she wasn't with him, they wouldn't let us live there. Anyways, though, we were here in Colorado for like a month. I had started school here. I was upset about starting school here actually because like their summer vacation months are different than the ones in Pennsylvania, so pretty much my summer vacation was cut short by a month because they started school so early here because they ended so early. Anyways, though, so I wasn't too sad about leaving after a month because like I didn't really talk to anybody. It didn't even make any friends. Honestly, I feel like the only person that really talked to me was Miguel, and he said like 6 words to me. So when my mom brought up the idea of moving to Georgia, I wasn't against it. And there was a guy down there that she had a crush on, and you know, I wasn't also against it because there was an ex-boyfriend from when I was 12 and I was dating him when I lived in North Carolina. I lived in Georgia in the exact area we were going down to, so I didn't mind for that reason because I'm like, oh my god, I get to reunite with my first love. We finally decided to go down to Georgia. As always, we left without saying goodbye because anytime someone opened their home out to us, my mom never would say goodbye to them. Like, she would just leave in the middle of the night or when no one was home, and you know, they just come home to us gone and wondering where did we even go. And I always hated that, especially when it came to like friends or people I actually liked, because that is such a rude way to leave, isn't it? We were in Georgia and we were staying at like this cheap crack addict meth head hotel. We were at this hotel that was very sketchy and probably not safe. I was 15-ish and I go outside and guys would hit on me, like grown men would hit on me. So like I did not feel safe there at the time, which was, you know, ex-lover, first love, but first boyfriend, not first love, I would say. But anyways, on the way there, my mom picked him up and we were living in this hotel room together. I think it was like a 2-queen bed hotel room. And around this time, my mom was really big on smoking weed, and so was my boyfriend at the time. And I didn't want to look not cool, so when my mom and him would go outside to smoke, they would invite me, and it's like I didn't like how it made me feel. And like a lot of people are like, oh, weed doesn't make you feel that way, but it would make me feel paranoid and like I was going to die, and it made me have anxiety attacks. I do not like weed. I do not like how weed made me feel, and that is just an opinion. It may make other people feel great and amazing and help with illnesses and help them with like anxiety and depression, but like for me, it just made it worse. So they were smoking a lot. I would smoke with them, and I don't even know what my mom was doing when she would leave, but there would be times that she would leave and she would have me high watching my 3 siblings. And at this time, like, they have calmed down a lot because they're teenagers, but at this time they felt like 10 kids because they would not listen. They were jumping around the hotel room. I was freaking out because I thought they were gonna get us kicked out, and there was no way I was gonna be living on the streets again. Like, I was happy to be in a hotel room even though I hate hotel rooms. But I would be freaking out. I remember like being in a corner, like pulling on my hair because I didn't know what to do, and everything was so distorted and fuzzy because I'd be high, and like I said, I just would not react to it well, and like all of it was terrible, all of it was bad. And honestly, who leaves their kids alone? Like, I don't care if I was 15, but my mom would leave me alone high with my 3 siblings that she knew at this time were hard to handle. And on top of that, I'm telling you how sketchy this hotel is. She would leave me alone with my siblings in this sketchy hotel. Let's just say his name is Ryan. Eventually my mom kicked Ryan out. So it's just me watching my siblings, and you know, eventually we ended up living at this guy's, let's see, what name can I give him? Let's just call him Ronald. But anyways, my mom, the guy that my mom wanted, she couldn't have, so she ended up just going for his brother Ronald. Like, this guy was the reason my mom came down to Georgia, because she had a crush on him, but he didn't want her back because he had a girlfriend, which my mom knew this. So anyway, so she just went for the next best thing, and that was his brother Ronald. Ronald offered his place for us to stay. Oh, and let me just stay on top of this. My mom had not enrolled us into school. So we weren't in school for a long while, actually. I want to say like this was like a period of 2 months, but don't quote me because this was so long ago and most of it's a blur now. Because who wants to remember this? We were living at this guy's house. Luckily he had internet because if not for the internet, I would have been bored out of my mind. Because, you know, not going anywhere and just staying inside a house all day for like 2 months with no school was actually really, really boring. And I was actually wanting to go back to school like so bad at this point because like I missed school. Like I was bored out of my mind. Around this time, we have come to realize that my mom was shooting up. I forgot who it was, but it was either my sister, Haley, or Laura. It could have even been Mark. One of them found, sorry, I had to keep an eye on my boy. One of them found a needle in my mom's purse. I don't think they knew what it meant, but I knew what it meant. And she was shooting up. And I was really, really disappointed to hear about this because it's like, I wasn't even okay with the weed, but it's not like the worst of drugs in my mind. Like, obviously it's not that terrible. If some states it's legal, like such as in Colorado, it's legal. But knowing that she was shooting up and like falling into these horrible ways, it really got to me. And it got to the point where she was drunk and high all the time. And my mom is a freaking terrible person when she's drunk, honestly. Like, she is a horrible drunk, and it's not like, she's like a mixture of things when she's drunk. Like, she's sad, crying, depressed, and then on top of that, she's angry and abusive. She would kind of neglect my siblings when she would be drunk. Like, she'd let them do things that she knows she shouldn't let them do. Like, you know what I mean? Like, egg a shed. Like, who lets kids egg a shed? Anyway, she would let them do things that, kids shouldn't do. He's making this video so hard for me to film, I promise. But, and he keeps getting me sidetracked, so I'm sorry if this video is a little bit everywhere. This time, I started to feel really down and depressed. And it's not like the first time I felt that way being with my mom. I don't know, I just feel like things got so bad and out of control, and just being so secluded, and my only contact with any people were my siblings or my friend Olivia over the phone. And it just became hard because like I ended up being the one that watched my siblings a lot because my mom was either too high or too drunk to care. And you know, it just got really, really hard for me at this point. It like, what would that not be hard for? Like, who would not feel depressed in that kind of situation? Anyways, I remember this one night in particular that my mom and Ronald were fighting for some reason. So my mom went to leave. It was like 11 o'clock at night, and the hotel we were staying at that she wanted to go back to was like, I think I remember, it was either like an hour or two away walking distance, and she pulled us all out to go walk on a busy highway at like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And it was just, and I don't know, this is a little bit hard, but I remember walking down that highway, and what's that called when like, is it like a Passover or something? You know what I'm talking about, like that bridge. I can't even think of what it's called, but I think it's like called a Passover, isn't it? It's like the bottom part of the highway, and then there's that part that goes on top of it, like a bridge, I guess. I don't know. You guys know what that's, overpass. Right? But I remember one time in specific where we're going over an overpass, I believe it's called, on the highway, and I just looked over the railing and I saw the cars coming, and for like a split 30 seconds I really wanted to jump off of it. Like, in that moment, it sounded really, really good just to not have to worry about anything or where this life is going. It honestly sounded like, it really did. It sounded like such a good idea, and it like it kills me that I even thought of that, because it's like, what if I did? I wouldn't have the chances that I have today, and that I would have never have seen anything get better, but I didn't, as you can see, because I'm here today. What stopped me is my mom and Haley, Mark, and Laura were walking in the distance. They didn't see that I stopped to like look over the railing, and I just looked at Haley, Mark, and Laura, and I thought, I couldn't leave them alone in this. I couldn't do that to them. And there's just so much that happened that I couldn't leave them with my mom, I felt like, so I needed to live for them, because I couldn't imagine what would happen to my siblings if I didn't have stayed. I don't know, there's just so much with my mom, and like, she's abusive physically, mentally, and like she even hurts herself. Like, some point during that that time in Georgia, when we were living in the hotel room, I knew she was cutting herself in the bathroom, and she just has her daughter on the other side of the wall knocking and crying, telling her not to cut herself. Like, who does that to a child? Like, I'm really about to tear up, because like, who does that knowing they have 4 kids in the other room and they just cut themselves? And I don't know. But anyways, Ronald ended up coming down and getting us, because he's like, you guys can't walk this, it's too late, you're coming back with me. So we did. One day my mom was mad at me. I can't remember why. Something about I should be grateful because she kept me. I was a rape baby, and I should be lucky that she kept her rape baby. And here's a little backstory. So my mom says that she was raped by my father, and she tells me that they were both on meth, and that he told her the next morning that they had sex. And she said that she couldn't believe they had sex because he's a really, really big guy. So they had sex again to prove that they had sex. And correct me if I am wrong, but how can one rape another when they're both intoxicated? You know, like, how isn't it that she raped him, you know? And also, if you were raped, why would you have sex with your rapist the next day to see if you've really had sex? You know what I mean? So please tell me if I'm wrong, you know, like. So anyways, I said that to her. I don't remember how I said it to her, but I said that to her. I told her exactly what I just told you, and that just set her off. And she's like quite the ways away from me, and I think I'm like on a pull-out mattress. Here's a couch, here's another couch, like right here, and the pull-out mattress is out. I'm at the end of the pull-out mattress, and then like, let's say right here was the TV I was on, because I had my computer connected to an actual like big flat screen TV because there was no monitor and I wanted to like be on my computer. But anyways, I was there, and she, like, I wasn't even looking because I was looking at my computer, but at some point she had gotten past the couch or something and she was choking me. At this point, I honestly had enough. Like, I was tired of being hurt, I was tired of being abused, I was tired of not being in school, and now she's on drugs, and I was done. I ended up calling the police, and it's all a blur, so I don't even remember. Like, I know I went outside at one point after everything, and I ended up calling 911, telling them that my mom was hurting me and that she choked me. And then I think this was after I called the cops. I went back inside and I was told her, I called the cops on you. And at some point she like pushed me into the bathroom and she smacked me across the face and was beating me in the bathtub. And then the cops got there and I told them everything that happened and they didn't believe me. And I laugh about that because it's like, who does not believe a crying child? Like, I was not faking it. I just don't understand how a cop can't believe somebody. in that kind of situation. Like, I even had marks on my neck, and of course I started trying not to swear on my channel. Of course I was hysterical. Like, what child wouldn't be hysterical in that situation? So anyways, they got there. My mom told them I hurt myself, that I put the marks on my own neck. And you know how I just said that she had cut herself in the bathroom? She was telling them that I cut her. And I just don't understand why someone would believe her. Like I said, they believed my mom. They did arrest her though for disorderly conduct because she was drunk. And it's like, are you kidding me? But anyways, I guess while all this was happening, a social worker came out at one point, talked to me and my siblings, and while all of this was happening, I guess at some point my mom had signed custody of us over to Roberta. And so Roberta and Cam, sorry, it's hard to remember the names I gave these people, flew out, and they came and got us. And originally the plan was for my mom to go with too, but then that night I explained what happened to Roberta, and she believed me at least, but my mom was still supposed to come, and she ended up not coming. So we ended up flying back to Colorado without her. But anyways, I'm sorry that he keeps fussing in the background. I really have no other time to do this. I was hoping to do this while he napped, but he won't nap. So this is really the only time I have.
Okay, so it's the next day, and this is me editing the video, and I just wanted to point out, it's bad quality because I'm on my laptop, but I'm editing this and I'm thinking I didn't say a lot that I wanted to say, and one of the things being that I am mainly telling my story to let other teenagers, kids that were being abused or were ever in a situation that I was in, that it does get better and that you won't forever be in that situation. And the best thing to do is to tell somebody and get out now, because I was afraid for 15 years to tell anybody about the abuse I lived with. And I honestly regret not telling anyone sooner. It's just my mom conditioned me that I couldn't live without her, that I would never see my siblings again, and just things like that. And also, that is very, very, very hard for me to put this on the internet for everyone to see, because there are many people in my life that don't know about the abuse I went through or don't know the extent of it. And it's just hard for everyone to know, like, just the things I've been through. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for part 2.